Hey guys, Strong Style News back again. It's Alex.
Justin, the Orange Dream.
And it's me, Noah.
And Justin's back finally again.
Yep.
And we're here with your WWE Money in the Bank 2013 pay-per-view review. Pay-per-view just got off the air a little while ago. Mm-hmm. And I think we're all in agreement that this was a very nicely done wrestling show. But the booking on this show, just...
atrocious.
I think they were high on, I think they borrowed Rob Van Dam's weed for this show when they booked it.
Hey man, don't throw stoners under the bus for this one. This was shit.
Yeah.
For booking. I mean, like you said, the guys worked hard.
Yeah, really well.
But before we jump into this, the title did unfortunately change hands tonight.
I'm a little...
So the longest reigning championship run in Strong Style history has come to an end, sadly.
It's a historic occasion, yeah.
And I am now the only man to hold it for 2 times for a second man. And this is
We're just making history all over the place.
We're history makers.
That's right.
Alright, well before we start off with the actual show, we actually did catch some of the pre-show, which was the Usos taking on the Shield, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the WWE Tag Team titles. Mm-hmm. We didn't see the whole show match, we're not going to rate it, but this looked really awesome, and the crowd was super into this match, which is, really nice for me to see because I like the Usos and I think the Shield is great, so really nice that the crowd was so into it. Why the fuck wasn't this on the show?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, watching the show, they had 2 to 3 segments that didn't need to be on.
They had
terrible.
It seemed like the show might have ran a little short, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, it was about it ran about.
Okay, but they had some they had
the main event could have been a little shorter, I think, and the Brad Maddox thing was just useless as hell. And if anything, Axel and The Miz should have been put on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Because we'll get that in a minute. But we're gonna definitely check out that match afterwards because we're checking the whole thing. But it was really nicely done.
Looked like the best pre-show match you're gonna see anywhere. Honestly.
Yeah.
And good for the Usos and Shield for saying we're gonna go out there and we're gonna bust our ass and we're gonna show these guys why you don't put us on pre-show.
Yeah.
All right, but we started the show off with the world title Money in the Bank match between Dean Ambrose, Fandango, Antonio Cesaro, Jack Swagger, Cody Rhodes, and Damien Sandow. And this was probably the best match of the night, actually.
Yeah, this was my match of the night. This was really enjoyable. Lots of innovative stuff.
Yeah, they really went outside the box to do some crazy stuff. Probably one of the highlights for me was when Dean Ambrose was on the ladder between Cesaro and Jack Swagger. That was really cool.
Yeah, they were holding him up.
The highlight for me was Cesaro hitting that European ladder.
That was awesome. Basically, Jack Swagger pulled Fandango off. Oh no, Wade Barrett I think it was.
Yeah.
And Cesaro got him with a European uppercut and just murdered him. Really well done. Cody Rhodes busted his ass. He broke out a muscle buster in this match.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So Cody Rhodes looked like a great match here, and it was going on to have this big moment because the crowd was going crazy for Cody Rhodes, and Cody was just climbing the ladder, and then Cesaro. First the Shield came out and attacked to stop him from winning first.
Yeah, kind of killed the momentum of the match a lot.
But it worked with the whole idea
of
with the Shield and everything, which worked, and the Usos came out and stopped him, whatever. But Cody Rhodes going up the ladder, and Sandow stops him and steals the briefcase and ruined what could have been a really great career-defining moment for Cody Rhodes.
Just felt kind of flat because, Sandow didn't really do anything the whole match. He hasn't really been built up to be the winner here. It's only by virtue of, looks like he's going to be feuding with Cody Rhodes here.
Which I'm kind of okay with the idea of, because I do like the idea that you can push both guys, you can push Sandow, you can push Rhodes, but you could have done the same thing if Rhodes had won the match, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could have, and it would have been a big moment. We'll get to this later, but basically both Money in the Banks ended with a non-star making ending.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anything to add, Noah?
I think you guys pretty much touched on it. What do you guys give this?
I give this 4 stars. Very solid. Good Money in the Bank match of the night for me.
Okay, what about you, Noah?
I'm going to agree. 4 stars is definitely match of the night for me.
I almost want to give it 4 1/4, but I'll go with 4 stars. If Cody Rhodes had won, I'd probably give it 4 1/4.
Yeah, I just think the interference kind of, it made sense.
I didn't mind the interference too much, just because it didn't take away from the match, and it kind of added the idea that the Shield is united and everything, and they're trying to take control, but whatever. Next up, we had probably this is a boring match between The Miz and Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental title, which started out very stupidly with The Miz getting faking up that Paul Heyman hit him and getting him thrown out the ringside, which completely turned the crowd against Miz.
Yeah.
that was
I don't know
like
what they were thinking.
that was the dumbest thing you could do for that match.
Well, I think they were just trying to shit on ECW, and they were just saying like, Pauline was ECW, former ECW owner, and or just ran ECW, so they're like, just be like, fuck you, man, ECW.
Right in front of your fans.
But that's one thing I hate about WWE is they like spite people even if it hurts them. They just want to like, you know what
they
I mean?
They want to get one over.
They like getting the upper hand even if it hurts them. It doesn't make business sense to do that. They just want to have the. It's so childish.
Humiliating people. That they really get off.
And still, it's really childish in a way. Okay, anyway, that's another story.
Who wants to talk about this match?
Nobody.
Nobody. God.
Fine, I'll do it then. I guess I'll carry this fucking team. This match was actually
not much to say.
Yeah, it was very basic. Felt very raw. They did have a nice like moment where the Miz locked in the figure four, and actually it was a pretty good looking figure four, and they did a nice.
He actually did a figure four.
Yeah, it was. And then Curtis Axel did like the stupidest fucking finisher. It's like he gets him in a neck breaker, and like then he twists and like plants on his face. It looks so.
It's fitting.
Pointless.
It's fitting for Axel.
Because he is garbage.
I fucking hate Axel. I really do. I do not get the buzz behind him. If someone knows of a good Curtis Axel match, please send us because we would like to see a match.
Don't give me that Tyson Kidd match. That was not that good. Tyson Kidd carried the entire match.
Yeah, someone send me a good Curtis Axel match.
Give me a match that he does more than 3 moves.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
This match was just blah. It really should have been on the pre-show. What'd you get this match?
Star and 3/4.
Okay.
I'll go 2, but not a very strong 2.
I'll give 2 as well. Didn't do anything. It was very basic.
It wasn't horrible, but I did not see the point in this match. Just another useless Intercontinental title match.
Yep. Useless Curtis Axel match. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad when the Miz is busting his ass more than you.
Yeah, if the Miz is carrying a match.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we had another match with the Divas title line between AJ and Kaitlyn. I actually enjoyed their match at Payback last month. I thought they actually did pretty nicely. This match did not do a damn thing. I mean, they tried to actually have a wrestling match, which I'll commend them for, but they did not have nearly as much of a story and like actual build up to a match that they had last month, I think.
I didn't see the. I don't know. This made Kaitlyn look really bad in my opinion because it felt like AJ. I don't know if it felt like this to anybody else, but it felt to me like AJ just dominated this match.
Yeah,
she had the vast majority of the offense. Kaitlyn really, I never felt like she was going to win at any point. It just made AJ look really strong, and Kaitlyn didn't look very strong.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, this match was just a rest hold.
Yeah,
really. I mean, this
it was
way too long.
Yeah,
they didn't work most of the match.
No.
It was laying down and chin locks and
I only remember like maybe like 3 or 4 spots in this whole match.
This was a dud for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
I'll give it half a star. I mean, I think people are probably gonna rate it higher than we did, but I honestly can't justify going higher than that. There wasn't much.
I'll go with at least a star. You know, it wasn't long and it did, you know, so I'll give it.
It felt long. How long was it?
I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes.
5 minutes maybe. I don't know.
It felt like 20.
I think they clearly hated it more than everyone else, but I certainly didn't enjoy it.
Okay. Next up, we had Chris Jericho taking on the Ryback.
I completely forgot this match even happened.
Yeah, well, that's pretty fitting. You want to talk about it then?
I don't know. This was about the worst Jericho match I've seen. I mean, it wasn't a totally terrible match, but it just felt like they were kind of going through the motions a bit for me. The pace never really changed for me.
They never got a first gear, it felt like.
No, the pace was just very slow. I thought they were going to kick it into gear at the end, and they never really did. And it just felt Jericho was clearly carrying the match, and even though I'm not normally very impressed with the Ryback, I thought this was a very weak effort from him as well.
Yeah, it felt like this was like the chance like for Ryback to show what he's got, you know, because like he's on the guy who knows.
Finally gets to win a match.
Yeah, how to work a match and just like
this did nothing for him either.
No, not really.
I mean, he ended up looking like a coward.
The crowd,
so it really
the crowd
hurts his character.
Dead.
Yeah, the crowd was really
crowd,
dead.
I mean, they didn't pop for almost anything.
There was a really nice moment where Ryback like stumbled and like slipped and like stumbled, like started walking toward Jericho, and Jericho got caught him with a boot right in the face.
Yeah, it was the botch of the night.
Yeah, that was funny.
But
and also Ryback won with a schoolboy.
Yeah.
Ryback, the monster. The
it didn't help him.
Yeah.
How is that supposed? Yeah, really. How is that supposed
he
to help?
He spent what, over a year losing on pay-per-view, and the only time he wins is a roll-up.
Yeah.
And
to a guy who's leaving.
Yeah, he'd say against Jericho, who's a big star, but he hasn't been winning. He's just been putting people over all the time. So.
Yeah. This match was, very much felt like a Raw match almost. If this was on Raw, I probably would enjoy it more, but not on a pay-per-view. I expect a lot better from Jericho.
Yes.
What'd you give this?
I'll go 2 1/4, but I don't know. It wasn't really. It didn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that.
I'll go with 2.5. I thought like at some points they had some glimpses, and like I thought like right when they're going for the when the finish happened, I thought like they were gonna build up something bigger, but no, it just so.
Yeah.
All right, and here's where we actually started getting a little bit better, which was the world title match between Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler got a big ass pop. The crowd was really pro Ziggler here tonight.
Right.
Yes,
we should have known by that Ziggler was gonna lose.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, he did. Spoiler. Anyway, who wants to? You want to talk about this one, Noah?
Sure. Yeah, this was a good match. You know, I was actually enjoying this more than the last match they had.
Yeah.
I felt like Ziggler was getting in a lot more offense, which is usually my complaint about Ziggler matches is he not enough offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was getting more offense.
It felt back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes. It was going along really well, and then there's
one thing I will say about Ziggler. Like I think one thing he's really good at is like he's one of those guys that like will take like a beating, but then he'll make a big comeback, and like he's really good at making those babyface comebacks. I think like sneaking a move in to get a That's
He's good at like sudden reversals.
Yeah, some reversals. That's what I meant.
This match definitely made Ziggler look more of a competitor than the previous match, which was him defending his champion. And that match, I thought, made him look kind of weak.
Yeah.
And he still kind of looks weak since he lost again. Especially the ending of this match was just very flat.
It made no sense. Like. The finish came, like, first of all, AJ came out during the middle of the match, played music and all.
Yeah, this slows momentum so much.
So she's out there, and they're going to tell her, I don't need you, whatever. Like, so they keep going for a little bit, and Del Rio tries to, like, use his knee to, like, knock out Ziggler. Ziggler blocks it. And, like, AJ's in the ring and, like, hits Del Rio with the belt right in front of the referee. And then she's like, I was trying to help you. It's like, how is that supposed to be helping? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand, like
nonsense. It just didn't make sense at all.
I understand, like you want to keep this feud going, and maybe you want to have a rematch at SummerSlam. But it's like if you're gonna do that, why don't you just have Del Rio get himself disqualified? That'd have been much better.
That makes more sense. But
it's one of those things that was frustrating because it's just another match that was meaningless.
Yeah, it was basically done to get to next month.
Yeah,
I hate these DQ finishes, especially when it's just like. I don't know, it doesn't build towards anything. It's just a cop-out to build towards another match, basically.
Right. And I just don't think that's acceptable on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's a world title match?
Yeah,
right.
Especially for a world title match.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was a very well-worked match. I think these two guys do work very well together, I will say.
Yeah, they're working hard, especially, sometimes when people have a total BS finish, they won't work as hard in the match. But these guys treated it like a serious match, so.
What would you give this one?
I'm bordering between 3.25 and 3.5. It was a good match. The only thing I'm questioning, of course, is the ending because it just, especially when AJ first came out, the momentum was really slowed for a minute there. They picked it back up, and then the finish happened.
Yeah.
I'll go 3.25 for that reason.
Okay, I'm gonna go 3.5. I did like it, and I think that when these guys actually do have a match that has a clean finish, it will be a very good match. But
if they have a match, with
they should.
Right?
Okay.
That's the thing is like how many more matches can they have?
Where
I'm still interested in watching it.
How long did they drag out Del Rio Sheamus last year?
Yeah, but none of those matches I cared about.
Okay,
like,
that's a good point.
if they keep doing this, people are going to stop caring.
Yeah.
And
quickly, they're probably going to stop caring right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't really care to see this match again. Like, I understand what they're doing, but I don't care to see it.
Especially since Del Rio.
Either way, I'm going the 3.25. It was solid for what it was, but the booking behind it was bad.
Okay.
Yeah, the work was probably actually a little better than that. It's just they had a finish,
Yeah, the finish is always the factor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we had John Cena defending his WWE title against Mark Henry. This was actually one of those matches. Like you've always said that, like Cena has a very formulaic title matches where like he's getting his ass kicked the entire match and makes a big comeback at the end.
Right.
Yes.
Now you got a really good point about this match, which was.
Well, I think that in a lot of times it doesn't work that well, but this time I felt it really did. When you're in there with a guy like Mark Henry, it's very believable that he could dominate however many time world champion. How many times is he?
I think he's 12.
Yeah, so that made sense, and I don't know. I think Mark Henry, we've said it a bunch of times lately, really knows how to put a match together finally in his career.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It was very good. It obviously, like, I'm very glad this wasn't the main event. That was probably the smartest thing they did about the show was not put this as the main event. Because like it wasn't a blowaway match. It was a very nicely worked match. I thought they actually did a couple really good near falls near the end.
Actually, I thought, given the way that the main event ended, I thought that they probably should have put it as a main
No,
event.
maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of
a can of worms.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. I thought Cena, the only thing that I hated was that they kept playing up the idea of like Cena can't lifting up Mark Henry or whatever, and dropping him or whatever on himself. I hate when they do that because like we've seen Cena pick up Mark Henry how many times,
Yeah.
Like I much rather would have had like Cena picking up Mark Henry and Mark Henry fighting out of it instead of just Cena not able to like pull him up.
I will say this match, Cena's always plays the underdog. This match, he legitimately felt like he could be an underdog in this match. The fact he kept, it felt more believable because he's in there with a guy that's so huge. He's like a lot of times he's just like laying around when he's selling. But this was actually like his strength was actually taken from him or whatever. And,
What'd you end up rating this match?
I'll give this 3 1/4, same rating as the last match. I'm not sure which match I liked better, but I was pleasantly surprised by this match. I thought both guys played their roles very well. Mark Henry came off as a badass, intimidating heel that he's been playing so well lately. Just thought he looked good even in defeat. So he still looks like a legit contender. Like he looked like he came off as a guy that can beat anybody at any given time.
Yep.
So I thought it was good for both guys.
Yeah. I'll give this 3 1/4. I like this a little bit less than the world title match just because I think that their match was a much better work one. This one was more of a storytelling match.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't really like, I didn't like the fact that Mark Henry tapped out.
Yeah, that was.
Like especially because like he's a monster, like he shouldn't be tapping out. But small gripe and whatever.
Yeah,
this is the best book match of the night. By
Yeah. Best book match right here.
And even though he did tap out, it was led into by a great reversal from Cena.
Yeah,
I really
that was
enjoyed
really
that. That was cool.
That was cool.
And he got a turnbuckle with his face, so
or not on the chest or whatever.
Yeah, not totally clean. I guess.
But I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 3 1/4 as well. I thought it was on par with the last match.
Okay,
unanimous.
All right, and then we have the main event, which was the WWE Money in the Bank, the All-Star match they called it. It was featuring Rob Van Dam, Christian, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and CM Punk. This match got a lot of time, and I think it's one thing that kind of, I don't want to say hindered it, but kind of affected because I felt like they worked a lot slower in this match, and didn't really have as many big spots as the opener. But they had a really good story to the match. I felt like at points.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was pretty good from. From a wrestling standpoint, it was pretty good. Like you said, it was definitely slower than the other ones, and it felt like they were building, and maybe that build took too long to get to the next level.
I think so, yeah.
But
I will say one thing I want to add in. Sheamus was a workhorse in this match.
Yeah.
Like he took a lot of punishment, and he brought a lot of pain. So kudos to Sheamus for busting his ass in this match.
Sheamus took some nasty bumps in that match. Honestly, he took all of the nastiest bumps in that match.
Yeah, that like where he went to the ladder tonight. And that looks sick.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, fell off onto his back. And and just some scary stuff.
Yeah. One thing I would say is a few guys I felt like CM Punk and maybe Christian really didn't do much in this match.
Not really. No.
Yeah, RVD looked good though. I will say.
Yeah,
RVD did look good. Yeah.
Did a really scary jump off a ladder, top of a ladder. That was pretty freaky.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan looked good.
Daniel Bryan looked like a star as he always does.
Yeah.
So who wants to talk about the finish?
I guess I can talk about it.
Right.
I guess I'll have the unfortunate task of leading with this, but Daniel Bryan got taken out near the end of the match by Curtis Axel.
When he was basically going to win the match.
Yeah, he was taking out everybody in the match. Then Axel out of nowhere comes out and just attacks him, hits his garbage finisher on the outside.
Yeah.
So CM Punk looks like he's gonna win. Paul Heyman turns on him, hits him with a ladder. So that takes Punk out of the match. And I can't remember who climbed up there.
RVD climbed up there, and then Orton
hit
a very
awesome RKO on him.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that was unfortunately not the match. And Randy Orton wins. He's Money in the Bank, WWE Money in the Bank winner for 2013. I don't think anyone really cares, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't have a problem with Randy Orton being in the title picture. He hasn't been there for a long time. He's a big name. A lot of people like him. Yeah. However, he does not need the Money in the Bank to be put into a title match. Because you can just basically put him into a feud for the title whenever you want.
Yeah.
He's proven that. He doesn't need a #1 contendership or anything.
No, exactly.
He's got name recognition,
This was a lot like the opener. This was a moment where you were going to put a guy over. This was the main event of a pay-per-view in a big wrestling city. The crowd was hot for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
This was the moment to say that Daniel Bryan is like the next guy, and you didn't do it.
Again, I think it was just they thought it was too obvious. They thought everyone was leaning towards it, and they're like, "Oh, we can't do that since it's obvious."
Yeah, obvious is not that bad in wrestling every once in a while.
Especially when you always try to avoid doing it.
Yeah,
Right.
You do the obvious so often. Like when you actually have the obvious like right in front of you, it's not because it's bad. It's because that's what we want. You know what I mean?
Right, and I felt it was I felt like it was so bad to have two guys who were clearly getting momentum in a match only to lose, and it would have been like Cody Rhodes also got screwed over too.
Yeah.
I wasn't as upset about that one because him and Sandow kind of makes sense since they're gonna break up.
Right.
Could feud for the title.
Yeah.
But
and granted, I'm sure that Orton and Daniel Bryan and Orton will have a match down the road or whatever, maybe involving the WWE title, hopefully. But still, it just felt like this was the moment for Daniel Bryan, and you guys are very much thinking that he's gonna face Axel. I'm still holding out hope that him and Cena will have a match at SummerSlam. I know you're gonna.
I'm gonna expect the worst and hope for the best.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'll give you that.
And what really bothered me is like you spent this whole time doing this angle of how Bryan is not the weak link, and he can be in the title picture, but he would never make it in the title picture without the briefcase. And now, like I thought that was the perfect way to culminate this whole thing.
Yeah.
And now what? Where do you go from here with him? We get a mid-card feud?
I hope not.
I don't know why else they would have had Axel attack him out of nowhere randomly like that unless they're going to feud.
Hopefully they just have a blow-off thing on Raw and be done with it.
I hope we never see Axel again. That's a best case scenario, but.
So what'd you get the match overall though?
I'll go 3 3/4, but it's actually not like a strong. I actually thought despite the fact I only gave the opener slightly more, I thought the opener was quite a bit better personally.
I'll give that 3 3/4. It was still a good match, but like that ending, if that ending had happened with Daniel Bryan, I probably would have given it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3.5. It was a pretty good match. The ending gave me just such a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I agree. Like we said, good wrestling show, but just the booking team needs to be.
Couldn't have been worse. Really.
Yeah. I mean, terrible.
I can't imagine it being worse because obviously Cena's not going to lose to Mark Henry, but
almost every match had some overbooking. I don't understand why they feel like they need to have interference and all these other ridiculous things happening. And I know that someone's going to get on there here and say, "Oh, that's pro wrestling." Well,
look at ROH then.
Really, let people wrestle. Just let the wrestling speak for itself. Stop trying so hard to jam everybody on the card and doing all this ridiculous shit. Say it.
Okay.
Hey, you're gonna swear? Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So overall, what would you give this show?
This one's tough. I'd have to say. It's in the 7 range. I'm gonna go a 7.25.
All right. I'll go 7.5. I did enjoy it, and like I said, there's hope. I think, and I know I'm always a positive guy, so just move on.
Positive Patty.
I honestly didn't see anything that inspired confidence with me in the show, but you know what? I think it's a testament to how hard the guys worked that this was a pretty darn good show, despite the fact that the booking was so bad.
Despite the booking team shooting themselves in the foot.
If the booking was
they're wrestlers in the foot.
Yeah, if the booking was anywhere near decent, we'd be talking about 8 range show for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 7.5 as it is, but I definitely enjoyed the wrestling. Just the booking.
Yeah, I think
so
bad. I think that the wrestlers deserve a lot of credit. They all worked hard tonight.
Yeah.
But the booking team, I mean.
What are you getting paid for?
Where
they're getting
did you
paid
take
to
the weekend off
impact.
and then you're like, oh wait, we got to book a pay-per-view today? Like,
I'd probably say like the Money in the Bank matches and the title matches are worth seeing, the big ones, but everything else could probably be skipped.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Shield match on the pre-show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up, guys. And once again, I am your Strong Style Studios champion. I wish it was on a better show. I won it, but oh well. And take care, guys. See ya.